This is me 3 months ago, and this is me now. I've lost 60 pounds since I started this transformation journey, but then I saw this Mr. Beast video, and I thought to myself, I think I can beat the Beast. His video did exactly what I think he was hoping for. It inspired me, it challenged me, and now it created their biggest enemy. All jokes aside, the dude in the video, Madge, is awesome. His passion, drive, ambition, and kind-heartedness really shined through. So I came up with an idea. I started actively trying to lose weight on May 6th. That was 90 days ago. Madge, with the help of Mr. Beast and all of his assets, lost 100 pounds in 178 days. So, if I want to beat that, if I want to beat Mr. Beast at his own game, I'd have to lose 40 more pounds in the next 87 days or less. So I'm throwing down the gauntlet. I will lose 100 pounds faster than Madge did in Mr. Beast's video, and I will do a daily vlog until the goal is achieved. Let's dive into today's video.
Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, August 20th, official weigh-in. I kind of been the same weight for the past 2 days. Today I was 199 flat. Let's see if anything changes. Yes, alrighty. I broke through a little bit of a plateau. I am 198.4. That's definitely some good news. I was so stoked when I passed 200. I haven't been sub 200 pounds since college. Grand total weight loss now is 72 pounds. On our way to 100 pounds lost before the end of October. That's the goal. And yeah, I hope you join me in this journey. I'm gonna go get swimming, do some walking, and then get my protein in for the first meal of the day. I've lost over 70 pounds in the past 3 months, and don't get me wrong, there's dozens and dozens of reasons why I was able to do that, and hopefully we'll continue to do that until I hit 100 pounds lost. But I wanted to focus on one specific thing, which is swimming, and why I'm a huge proponent of people swimming. Now, you might not be like me, but when I was 270 pounds, I couldn't even really walk. I'm not saying like I couldn't walk, like I walked around. If I tried to walk for like, let's say 30 minutes to an hour, I would definitely be having like lower back pains, feet pain. What was really crappy was I was getting like really bad hip pain to the point where it was hard to walk. And I never thought that would happen, but it did. When I was 270 pounds, I couldn't really walk, you know, and at that time I thought to myself, if it ever got really bad, if I really needed to start losing weight, I could always at least walk. You know, like at that time it was like, I wish I could jog, but I would know that I couldn't do that. But when I got to the point where walking was hard, that was tough. You know, it felt like, I'm gonna try to describe it for people that maybe haven't gotten that bad or that unhealthy. You know, at the end of like a day at Disneyland or like Six Flags or Universal Studios, like when you're just tired as heck, your feet are killing, your lower back is killing, you know, you're looking at your phone or your fitness tracker and you've walked like 15,000 steps and you feel like, oh yeah, I could feel those steps. That's what I would feel like at like 4,000 steps. You know, that's what I would feel like if I walked for 30 minutes. Like it felt like I'm not really gonna do anything tomorrow because I need to recover. At that time, when walking became difficult and unsustainable, I turned to swimming. And let me tell you, it was a godsend because it was so good. So reason number one why I love swimming so much, it is so gentle on your joints. You're basically like in zero gravity, right? So my spine felt elongated. I never really felt like I had lower back pain. I wasn't having any hip pain. You know, it was a fantastic workout. So reason number one, at least for me, it was extremely gentle on my joints, which when I was at my worst, I really needed. Reason number two, I think this can apply to everybody. It burns so many calories. I've watched a few YouTube fitness influencers who like really scientifically tested every form of cardio, and swimming was always like top 2, top 3, usually the number 1. I think the only ones that really ever beat it technically is if you do like all-out sprinting. You know, you burn more calories per minute, but you can't sprint forever. You know, you can sprint for like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and then you're gassed and you gotta catch your breath and you gotta rest for like a few minutes. Sprinting technically burns more calories, but swimming is right up there with the very best. If you're trying to burn a lot of calories, you know, you're trying to lower or create a bigger caloric deficit so that you can lose weight, swimming, number 2 reason, it burns so many calories. Number 3 reason, it is a full body workout. You cannot swim and just use your upper body. You're gonna sink. You can't swim and just use your lower body. You're gonna sink. You pretty much have to use every single muscle in your body. Maybe not every single muscle, but it's full body. And it's the reason why you burn so many calories. It's because you're using so many different muscles all at the same time. And to go with that, reason number 4, it's really beneficial, especially if you're trying to lose weight and you're in like essentially a cut. Reason number 4, it helps preserve and sometimes even build muscle, because every single stroke you do, every single push, there's a little bit of resistance. Pushing water out of the way is not as easy as air. Studies have shown that it actually helps you preserve muscle when you're in a caloric deficit, and some have even put on muscle, build muscle through their cardio. It's just absolutely fantastic, and it makes sense because of reason number 3, it being a full body workout. Reason number 4, helping you increase strength, preserve, and maybe even build muscle. That is absolutely amazing that you can get that from your cardio workout. Reason number 5, it improves flexibility. It really truly does, because of so many people, including myself, have such immobile shoulders and upper thoracic or spine mobility and flexibility. Swimming really opens you up. It gets you to use your full range of motion in your shoulders, and you learn to use things that maybe some of us, like a lot of men, don't typically use a lot, like our hip flexors. It activates so many different muscles and it gets you more flexible. Number 6, it improves your mental health. Whenever you look into like your mental health, a lot of it starts with focusing and controlling your breath. That's why you see people talk all the time about yoga. That's why you see people talk about meditation whenever it comes to like mental health and stress. And let me tell you, with swimming, it damn near forces you to focus on your breath, to control it, and to really take deep breaths in and really exhale out. Like, you have to have a rhythm, otherwise you're gonna sink, you know. And the craziest part is that if you're not good at swimming, you're gonna burn more calories too, because of the struggle to stay afloat, the struggle to breathe properly, the struggle to go faster because you're sinking. Just the fact that you're underwater half the time or most of the time, you really have to focus on your breath. You really have to take in really deep, solid breaths and have a rhythm. And just that alone can be so beneficial to your mental health. I think we're on reason number 6, which kind of ties into the mental health because of the breathing. Number 6, it really kicks your cardiovascular system in the butt. It really improves your VO2 max. It really gets the cardio portion of your workout going. And it makes sense. It's just this hybrid version of like a resistance workout and a cardio workout. And if you can find your rhythm and you can get yourself to be at like the perfect zone of how how high you want your heart rate to be, it can be extremely challenging and it can be extremely fun, and your cardiovascular system is going to thank you so much for it. Moving on to the next reason, which pretty much ties into it burns a lot of calories, but it really helps you regulate your weight. Because of the amount of calories you burn, because of how many muscles you activate, it is one of the best tools in your belt to help you either maintain your weight or lose weight, whatever your goal may be. It is huge in that area. One overlooked reason why it's so fantastic too is it's just honestly fun. Most people don't really swim that often. It has a novelty to it, but it's also, I don't know if you're like me, but I'm a kid. I like to kind of float around and feel that zero gravity. It's fun. Trying different stroke patterns or styles is fun. Trying to challenge yourself to see how far you can swim before you have to take a breath is really fun. Trying to just use your legs to get to the end. There's just something fun about floating around in water. Another overlooked benefit that I don't think people really talk about or associate much with swimming, but it definitely has improved for me, is it has improved my sleep. I think just the idea of breathing more mindfully and getting exercise, like a full body exercise, I think all of that has like not just like a challenging effect on my body, but also just like a relaxing effect. I don't know how to explain it, but ever since I started swimming more, it was easier for me to fall asleep and stay asleep and to get that deep rest. It's a very overlooked benefit of swimming. And then I think the last thing I'll talk about, which I think I can say this without being racist because I'm Asian, but I've known so many Asians, like particularly Asian women, who just, the sun is the enemy, right? You put on your hat, you put on your sunscreen, you put on your mask, you hide away from the sun because sun is what makes you look older and kills your skin and all that stuff. Asians are all about looking young and everything. This is a weird benefit. I think if you have the ability to really control your sun exposure, not everyone swims outdoors. I do because my community clubhouse is outdoors. I purposely try to do it early in the morning during sunrise or just before sunrise, because the truth of the matter is sunlight and sun exposure is actually extremely healthy for us, but in a certain way. There's certain wavelengths, of course, that are damaging to the skin, but there's also wavelengths that are extremely important that our mitochondrial cells need in order to be healthy. At least from what I've seen and what I've read, studies have shown that going outside and getting sun exposure, essentially like during those golden hours where the sun isn't high enough to have those harmful rays of light penetrate the atmosphere, and you're basically just getting the best parts of the sun. You're getting in that vitamin D, you're getting in those infrared rays. How many people, men or women, wear, red light therapy masks, right? Because they're trying to get that infrared rays. Those light rays are the things that are good for your cells. Those are the light rays that help you produce more collagen and make your skin more elastic and more youthful. People buy these super expensive masks or wands to put in minuscule amounts of red light therapy into their skin when they could just go out just before sunrise, not get any of those harmful rays, and get all of that beautiful infrared rays that's gonna make your skin healthier. Huge benefit there. And kind of on a side note, even though I swim practically before the sun comes out, I'm still getting a little tan, and it's not gonna be like, this is kind of bonus benefit. Some people don't wanna be tan, some people like to have light skin. I grew up Filipino where my parents, the culture there is like, if you're dark, you're poor. That means that you work the fields, you're blue collar. So Filipinos always are like super judgmental to their own selves if you have dark skin. I don't mind a little bit of color. Bonus benefit of being a little tanner is that your muscles look a little bit better. Your definition shows a little bit more than when you're like pale and pudgy. So That's a bonus benefit, but I know that doesn't apply to everybody. But yeah, so that's why I love swimming so much. Those are all the reasons why swimming is amazing. It has to be in my top 3 as to why I was able to lose 70 pounds in the past 3 months. I hope this encourages some of you to go out there and swim. I hope I sold swimming on people. And yeah, now I'm gonna get to swim. Just finished swimming my laps. I went for 48 minutes and 22 seconds, 1.5 kilometers, 894 calories burned, and then I did 60 lengths or 30 laps of freestyle. I went a little bit slower today because freaking sucked. My first lap, basically halfway through, my goggles started leaking water, and then I tried to adjust it as I was swimming, which made it worse. So I had to kind of go back and restart. So that's why I'm a couple minutes slower than normal, but otherwise had a great swim. Banger song of the morning. I think it was the Back to the Future theme song. That really got me into the flow state. Don't get me started on Back to the Future. I will talk about it forever. I honestly want to make a YouTube video on why I think it's the perfect movie. As a kid, I always thought it was Steven Spielberg and John Williams, but no, Robert Zemeckis, and I honestly don't know who the composer is. Honestly, it might be John Williams. I'll put the composer's name up here, but it sounds so much like the GOAT, you know what I mean? Like whimsical, yet fantastical, yet epic. You know, it very much sounds like John Williams, but I don't know if it is. But yeah, that Back to the Future theme song, the movie's so good, and I don't know how good it would be without that score. And that thing, when it came on when I was swimming, I just got into the flow state. I got super hyped and super excited. So I'm gonna enjoy this jacuzzi right here and then get to some walking. Just got back from the pool. Was in the jacuzzi a little bit longer than normal. The clubhouse maintenance guy was there. Super cool guy. I met him like a month ago. His name's Berto, and he just basically makes sure the facilities are running beautifully and smoothly and clean. And yeah, just such a cool guy, such a nice dude. I remember a month ago when I met him, I was telling him about how sometimes I get to the jacuzzi like really early and it's not that cold. And he was like, oh shoot man, yeah, like let me adjust the timer. So now it's hot even if I get there at like 5:30 in the morning. And I also asked him, I was like, do you think you can make it hotter in the morning? Because I love it like boiling hot. And he was like, yeah, sure. So, such a nice guy. So even if I get to that jacuzzi at 5:30 in the morning, it'll be burning hot. So Berto, I appreciate it if you're ever watching my videos. Anyways, getting back to swimming and the benefits. I think I talked a lot about it. You guys know, it burns calories. It's a full body workout. I'm actually kind of wanting to jump into my last point that I made, the little bonus point. I know a lot about Filipino culture, obviously, because I'm Filipino. And I know that some other East Asian cultures are similar in the sense that like dark skin, bad, you know, gotta be fair skinned and light. I don't know how many times I grew up where an auntie or a grandma would come back from the Philippines to visit and they'd be giving me like soap or face washes that have bleach in it to lighten your skin. Just so bananas, man. But I'm so curious, is it an East Asian thing only, or do other parts of the world, other cultures do similar things? Like, is it like that in Europe or Latin America, Middle East? It'd be cool if you can comment down below if your culture does the same type of stuff, you know? Dark skin means you're poor. It's just, I mean, I was born and raised in America, so like, I feel like, I don't know, it's crazy, you know? But is it like that anywhere else, or is it just East Asians that are all weird about the sun and staying light-skinned? Sorry, I'm at the maximum incline of my treadmill, doing Japanese walking right now, which is a type of interval training that really helps you burn more calories in a more optimal and efficient time period. You do 3 minutes of high intensity, which my flavor is incline, and then 3 minutes of low intensity, which is flat. Do that 5 times, rinse and repeat 5 times. You'll get a 30-minute walking session that seemingly burns almost as much, if not the same as walking for an hour. Yeah, long story short, swim. Swimming is amazing. I'm gonna keep pimping it out until the end of time. All right, walking, then protein. I have no idea how grainy this footage is, but it's all good. This part should be very short. Just wrapping up Wednesday, August 20th. Did 13,000 steps, 47 minutes of swimming, and I did some resistance training. Yeah, kind of just like a mixture of everything. A little bit of deadlifts, a little bit of bench press, some pull-ups, and then some rear deltoid work because really want to get rid of this shoulder impingement that I have. Not as much steps as normal, but I think the resistance training should make up for it. We'll see how the weigh-in goes tomorrow, but otherwise, I'll see you guys later. Peace.